It's a bit abrupt, but driving away evil spirits is not a priest's duty. A priest preaches about the teachings of God, but doesn't drive away evil spirits. Their God is one and absolute, supreme and all-knowing, a spirit that created the perfect world. Such a God would never allow evil to disgrace the world that he created. But evil still exists, corrupting men and tainting the world. God's world is being desecrated by something that shouldn't exist. This is how they define the contradiction. That even the evil that threatens mankind is a necessary part of the world. It is something worthy of love. In this regard, evil is a messenger from heaven. If what brings out the goodness of men is holy, it follows that what brings out the malice of men is evil. They are both angels sent by God. As one who teaches the word of God, the priest has no right to eliminate them. But evil does exist, corrupting men and tainting the earth, producing gruesome tragedies surpassing human knowledge. At times, the trials from heaven made people realize how powerless God is. The inhuman deeds of the evil caused people to desire for miracles from the great God. Consequently, an exception was created. Apostles, humans that carry out the will of God instead of spreading his word. Trials that should be observed. Heresy that should be denied. People who possess what should not exist, the eighth sacrament. Executors.
Close enough.
I'm saying like executive.
Executors? Yeah.
It's got to be executor though. If they're destroyers of evil, like they're executing.
Oh.
I'm gonna call it executors. Executors, destroyers of evil, devised by the 120 cardinals, were born. They drive away darkness, purging all things that are not part of God's teachings. They hunt down that which doesn't exist in the doctrine, so they're not bound by the doctrine. It's X-Force, but for Jesus.
You're a menace.
Their immorality is forgiven. Tell me it's not the same thing. There's only one thing they must protect, the great name of God. For this purpose, they will destroy the evil that God created. That is the only difference between them and the exorcists. This assassin, do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God, what's my assassin voice? Executors, huh? I hear the church teaches to be frivolous as the pigeon, yet adaptable as the snake. I see that you are no exception. Are you laughing at my laugh?
Yeah.
He always does like the super high pitched like can't laugh, right? And I can't do that.
No, I thought your laugh was good. Your laugh made me laugh. I think laughing at a laugh means that it landed the way you wanted it to.
That's fair.
I wasn't trying to be a bully.
I'll allow it. Moving on. The White Skull laughs. The priest Kotomine Kirei doesn't answer, but checks his weapons. 5 black keys on each side and a command spell on his right arm, unused since the last war. These armaments are more than sufficient against a low-ranking spirit. But he cannot kill a servant, even if he hits every one of his weapons. Even if he may be nameless, Assassin's a heroic spirit. He can't possibly defeat a heroic spirit unless he has a weapon of the scripture scale that the selected agents carry. What's wrong? It looks like your weapon's a projectile weapon as well. Would you like to try a match? The priest doesn't move. He stares at the skull that lurks between the trees, listening to the sounds in the forest. Rustling leaves. The breath under the mask. The sound of slowly melting flesh. and the mad warrior crashing into the distance.
Kodamine?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He went that way, as I thought. It seems you are not doing well with Mato's Sakura, Makiri Zoken.
He talks while staring at the skull.
Wait, I think... Is this Zoken? I think this is Zoken.
Oh, it must be. You're right. That was assassin doing his fucking thing again.
I was like, man, I don't know, man. I think this is me.
I see. So you felt my presence, Kirei. Why did you stop in spite of that? You could have used the boy as bait to escape. So why are you conducting such a good deed as to be the bait yourself? You did not tell me you are moved by kindness.
The laugh echoes through the forest. The white skull slightly wavers.
Uh-oh.
The priest doesn't even move his brow.
I do not intend to save Emiya, Shiro. I merely had business here.
And he speaks with no sign of hostility.
Oh, gosh. Fuck, now I'm confused. That is Zoken, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you had business with me?
Of course. Either way, Emiya and I will not get out of the forest. I know we will both die eventually. Then, it is only natural to do something for yourself before you die, correct?
Then you do not mind what happens to Iliasville? You came to rescue her, right?
I care not. I could do nothing, even if I defeat Assassin here and move to help the boy. Whether Emiya Shiro succeeds or fails to save her is no concern of mine.
He holds 3 black keys in his left hand. The priest stares at the skull in front of him while holding the swords in a fan form.
Oh, then you stayed here because...
Yes, I must keep Iliasville from you or...
The hostility disappears. The white skull melts into the forest without trace.
or kill you here.
The blades run. The sword held by the priest and the daggers flung by assassin clash. Gotta be Zoken, right?
Yeah. I started to feel fucking doubts halfway through that. Okay.
You definitely had the previous ones right. I'm pretty
Okay.
confident with that.
I see, so that's why you came to die. Fine, Kirei. We have unsavory ties. I shall see through the battle of the church's outlier.
The laugh echoes. The holy man who wards off evil meets Malak al-Mat, knowing it's impossible to win. Oh, back to a worse situation.
Yeah.
I run through the forest with Ilya in my arms. I can't turn back. It feels like a black wall would be behind me if I turned back, which would kill my spirit to escape alive. I don't have enough energy to waste on that. He'll catch up to us if my resolve wavers. He'll catch up and kill us both. It feels like my feet will tear off. Ilya may be light, but carrying someone still slows me down. Making matters worse, the forest isn't the best place to run in. Each step nearly causes me to trip.
Sorry.
Fine. Faster, 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 faster. He'll catch up to us unless I run faster. The presence behind me is getting closer by the second. This is no time to be moving this slowly. I have to run faster. Run fast like Kodamine and run away with Ilya. My heart feels like it's about to explode. It's painful. I can't breathe. The muscles in my legs are about to tear apart and my bones are screaming to break. It's painful. How long have I run for? I'm running frantically through the forest with Ilya in my arms. I've covered 5 kilometers already. Then again, I'm so short of breath that I can't think, so it might have been twice that. I ran full speed without slowing down. Ah. But it won't go away. I'm running full speed, my heart and muscles are about to stop, and yet the presence behind me is getting larger. Ilya's heavy. Oxygen is heavy. My legs are heavy. Death is heavy. I'll die if he catches up to me. I'm burdened with the fear of being killed in a single blow. Ah! I mentally kick myself before I can falter. Run. Just don't think and keep running. So what if my legs are about to rip off? What's the point in worrying? Think about that when it actually happens. For now, I just need to get out of the forest as quickly as possible. Fill my chest with gasoline, turn the key, and ignite the engine that's stalling with fear. Keep the gear at the top, remove the brakes. Run, run, run. Run to shake the uneasiness from my back. Run to ignore the fear behind me. Run so I won't think negative thoughts. Shut up. Don't yell in my ear. My eardrums are about to burst just because of my breathing. I can't spare the effort to listen to your loud voice.
No, stop, Shiro!
Ilya screams in my arms. My mind reacts to her frantic warning before my body does. I stop. My feet slide to a halt in the dirt, and I put Ilya down on the ground. Trace. I ready the sword I had on my waist and create a magic circuit at the speed of 200 miles per hour.
Jesus.
On! Nothing comes to mind. Analysis of creation concept, analysis of basic structure, modification of creation concept, reinforcement of basic structure. In an instant, I manufacture everything without even thinking about it.
I love that sometimes when you yell, your microphone just absolutely squashes your audio.
I'm sure.
So that it's just like a silence instead of a ah.
I resist the impact with all my strength. The whirlwind comes from the side. The pursuer has attacked us from the side, smashing away all the trees in his way. Sent flying. All it took was one blow. The black key, which I strengthened to be as strong as diamond, is bent like melted candy. The impact goes through the sword into my body, permeating damage from the tip of my head to my toes. I'm flying. The attack I made with all my might was deflected like nothing. I'm no match against him. I'm no match against him. Shiro isn't allowed to even stop that monster. My body's floating in the air. No, I'm flying. I'm like a thrown lance hurled dozens of meters by the impact. I might fly back to the castle. That's how much stronger he is. Escape is impossible. Time has stopped. I'm still flying, and I should die when I fall to the ground. Having seen the difference in our power, I accept my fate, but... No way. Oh,
No way! No, Berserker!
I see Ilya crying in disbelief with the black monster in front of her. Ah! I frantically reach out. I stop my flying body by hitting myself against a tree. Ah! It feels like I've been hit in the back with a hammer. My heart, already pushed to the point of bursting, expands still further. It cries in pain as though there's a crack running through it. Ah! 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 I can only draw a single breath. Well, I need oxygen, but it feels like I'll explode if I take another. Ha! But my body moves. That single breath gives me the strength to run. I use all of my magic circuit to move my muscles and...
Hey, what's wrong, Berserker? It's me, can't you tell?
Entranced, Ilya doesn't move. She just calls out in a weak voice, trying to deny the unrecognizable figure before her. That's the Black Enemy's true identity.
Jesus.
Kotomine said his eyes can't see. He's right, but he's not accurate. That servant has no eyes, nose, or mouth. His glowing red eyes are there to emit hostility. His body is covered by the black mud, and the wound he received from Saber is left alone. That's something completely different. Engulfed in the mud, he's a monster who can only destroy. He doesn't even see who he's attacking. The Mad Warrior can't recognize Ilya's figure, let alone mine. He raises his axe sword against the living thing in front of him. Flipping back. Hey, that's the fuck shed.
Stop! You're a menace.
The priest is about to end his life.
Me?
It's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Kotomine Kirei leans against the wall, staring at the white skull. His outfit is slashed up. He's breathing hard, with 3 black keys as his only remaining weapon.
This looks like the end. I should commend you for lasting this long against a servant.
The old man's laugh echoes through the sky. Assassin remains silent, in contrast to his talkative master. Battles merely work for him. The dirks that go for his opponent's vital spots are also weapons to measure the strength of his opponent. He measures his opponent's mobility with the first dagger. He measures his opponent's action principles with the second. He always keeps 7 meters between him and the opponent. He maintains a distance at which only projectile weapons are useful and measures his opponent's skill. If he cannot kill his opponent in one blow, he will force his opponent to a place where he can. He will drive them to a corner by cutting their limbs and tiring their bodies. For Assassin, the daggers are merely preparation for his fatal attack. He uses them to analyze his target's skill, creates the perfect opportunity, and smashes his enemy with his evil arm. It's just a chore for Assassin, bringing him no joy. It's a boring chore, but the priest is better prey than he expected. He's used at least 20 daggers already. Although he uses them to determine his opponent's skill, each one is still meant to kill. The priest has blocked them and reached this ruin. He dismissed the priest as a mere human, but his powers are admirable. But this is it. His energy drained, the priest leans against a wall and stares at Assassin. He has 3 hidden black keys left. The 7 he threw were all dodged.
Then this is the end. Show him some grace, Assassin.
The skull wavers. Assassin fires the daggers without motion, aiming for the temple, pancreas, and diaphragm. The priest challenges the lightning flashes with his black keys. There's a term called fatal attack. A move that will kill, a move that will determine victory. This is it. The 3 daggers are a feint. Kotomine Kirei will die the instant he deflects them. Die. The wing flaps. Such a cool art. The cursed arm, the one-winged spear, is developed. It's an unavoidable attack. Assassin knows the priest's capabilities. He knows his prey is tired and wounded. That is why this will kill. The prey should prevent death from the dirks. But that will be all. Even if he saved up his energy for a counterstrike, his body's incapable of carrying it out. After repelling the 3 daggers, all the priest can do is jump sideways. And only 3 meters of that, he cannot escape the arm. The cursed arm stretches out. The priest has no fear. He's prepared for it. He knows the daggers are a feint, that the cursed arm will strike him the instant he repels the daggers, and that he has no way to avoid it. No matter what he does, he will die. That is why.
Set.
The only thing he can aim for is a double kill. The skull laughs.
Oh.
The cursed arm going for the heart, and the black keys cross. But there's no problem. Assassin's cursed arm is the only one that will directly hit the target. The black keys will certainly hit him. But how unfortunate. No matter what magic he puts on the swords, the black keys cannot kill Assassin. The 3 swords will pierce through Assassin, sticking to the tree behind him. But that's it. The priest will inflict injury, but will have his heart torn out in turn. Assassin's arm does his job first. His noble phantasm, Zabania, sticks to the priest's chest and creates a fake heart. But he feels no solid response. The man's heart gives no reaction, as if it's empty.
Kotomine has no heart.
Whoa. At that instant, the impact hits him. The 3 black keys hurl Assassin backward, nailing him to a tree. What? There are 2 surprises. One is that the black keys have sealed his movement. And the other is...
Impossible. Why are you not dead, Kirei?
The priest's black outfit flutters through the air. He jumps. The inhuman action is like a cannon firing. Amassing his strength and releasing it, he covers 10 meters in an instant. Up to the trees above. He instantly seizes the head of Mato Zoken, the one who has been observing the battle.
What are you doing, assassin?
It does not need to be said. His bodyguard is sewn to a tree by the black keys. To Assassin, this is only a scratch. But the holy nails make it impossible to save the old man.
Is this Kirei?
Yeah, I think so.
I will kill. I will let live. I will harm and heal. None will escape me. None will escape my sight.
Why challenge an enemy he knows he can't defeat? This has always been his announced intention.
Damn you!
Be silent. You'll bite your tongue off.
The priest grabs his head and drops to the ground. He just fucking Ganon slammed fucking Zoken.
You
into the
fucking
floor.
pile drived him from the trees.
Yeah!
Be crushed. I welcome those who have grown old and those who have lost. Devote yourself to me. Learn from me and obey me. Rest. Do not forget song. Do not forget prayer. Do not forget me. I am light and relieve you of all of your burdens.
He shows no mercy. The priest smashes the old mage's body on the ground, crushes his bones, and slams his head against the wall.
Why is this part censored?
Ha! I see. So you will kill me. Very well. Do as you wish. But what will change? Do you think your wish will come true?
Do not pretend. Retribution for forgiveness. Betrayal for trust. Despair for hope. Darkness for light, dark death for the living.
He walks, leaving a smear of blood across the stones as he goes.
Such a hopeless wretch. Do you still seek mundane happiness? Do you not understand that such a thing does not exist for you?
The blood and flesh paint a picture on the wall. All that remains of the old magus is his head. His body's been ground away against the stone, and not even half of his head remains. Even with his brain pasted to the wall, the old magus gives off his last laugh.
Relief is in my hands. I will add oil to your sins and leave a mark. Eternal life is given through death. Ask for forgiveness here. I, the incarnation, will swear.
You will never find it, Kirei. You are defective from birth. Just stand and watch, never fitting into the world.
Is this Kirei Elysian?
Kyrie Irving.
Wait, say it again?
No, that's a basketball player.
Oh.
I'm sure this is some fucking Latin from the Bible. I don't know.
You don't know Latin?
I assume he's just been reading scripture this whole time, in like the italics here.
Right.
I don't know what this
I think
is.
you're doing
I
great,
don't
but no, I was making it. Jake, you know everything about fate. I was confused how you didn't know this Latin pronunciation.
Yeah, no, this actually means Kirei elite, and it's just him flexing at the end.
Kirei Elysian.
He's got the runes.
What the fuck?
The laughter is cut off. The shape that can't be seen by human eyes withers away. Baptismal chant.
Yeah, you got it.
Within the systematic basis of their magic, the teachings of God are considered the greatest weapon against spirits. The key of providence that eliminates wandering souls. It sublimates the wish of the 500-year-old magus with great mercy.
Ugh.
Damn, fucking Kirei just exorcised Zoken.
Uh-huh.
I want to see that in the movie so bad. Of him just pile driving him to the ground, pushing his head up on a wall, and then just grinding it away until he's dead.
With the edgiest fucking, He's like, I am infinity and darkness.
Yeah.
Like, you are so edgy.
Fuck. Kirei's so raw in Heaven's Feel.
Bro, I forgot that they made this into a movie. Now I'm really excited for the third one.
Yeah, right? Watching these will be a fun event. We gotta, like, marathon them with popcorn and such. It'll be good. Anyway, time for Shiro to get fucking blasted by this berserker. Time is stalled.
No, I don't want this berserker.
Ilya pleads to the giant. But he doesn't even try to figure out who's talking before he swings his sword. I'm gonna back up a little bit. I run. I was flung about 10 meters. This distance is nothing. I'll definitely make it if I run. One breath, the blood, drugs, and propellant running about my body are like a jet stream, and the igniting thought is like a flash of lightning. I step in. My body feels light. Time seems to stand still. I'll make it. I'll definitely make it, but even if I do, I couldn't do anything with the black key. I couldn't match him. So I search, retrieve, and create it. What can beat him? What can match him? It's clear. It can be nothing less than the sword he carries.
What?
I block it. Projection succeeds as a matter of course. Ah, a crack. A crack runs through the axe sword I projected. At the same time, I'm hit with feedback that's almost strong enough to kill me, punishing me for using something forbidden. flung away. My axe sword shatters beneath his second attack, and my body slides across the ground like trash. Fading. My consciousness is fading. I can't think. I can't think even if I gather up everything. My left arm revolts. My blood overflows. The restraint is still in my left arm, but my intelligence is half lost, and I feel a chill as though it'll never return. The ominous feeling will turn out to be true, and I'll start losing what I value the most. I'm enveloped by a rushing wind. I'm enveloped by intense light. I lost it. I lost it. I lost it amidst the agony. I can't find it even though I search. My mind turns into a grain of sand within a desert, lost to everyone, drying up, drying up, drying up, drying up.
Shiro, get yourself together and find yourself!
There's Ilya. I'm on the ground. I'm about 10 meters away from the black giant. His red, glaring eyes are looking around as if trying to find me. My consciousness returns. There's no time to be on the ground. My body still moves. The only external wounds are scratches from tree branches. It's just pain. My tongue tries to gasp for air. There isn't any oxygen in my body from all the running, so I want air. That's all. What's important is inside my body. I don't really want to know what conditions it's in, but I can still fight. Let's get away from here, Ilya. I grab Ilya's hand and stand up. My body's all right, but I need air. I have to get out of his range to regain my breath. But...
Why? Shiro, do you even understand what's happening to you?
Ilya pulls away as if denying my assistance. Something's wrong. Berserker's right behind her. I'm myself. My head's not working due to oxygen deprivation, and I can't think why Ilya might say such a thing. Ilya?
I'm sorry, but it's fine now. Run away by yourself.
Ilya hangs her head. I can't think straight. I can't, so I get pissed off instead. Man, don't throw a tantrum now. Let's go, Ilya. Now's not the time for that.
Huh?
I pull her arm. Her small body, her desire to help me with that tiny body feels sacred.
Hey, what are you doing, Shiro? I said you've done enough. You can still make it alone, so run.
She hits my head. I ignore her. Shut up. I wouldn't be here if I could do that. And I pull her close.
What?
Ilya's eyes ask me why. She's gotta be kidding me. I don't even need to explain myself. I don't have a reason. I'm just selfishly protecting you. Look, an older brother protects his younger sister.
What? Are you stupid? I'm not your younger sister.
It's fine. I'm an older brother since you called me Oni-chan. Even if we're not blood related, you're still my younger sister.
They have the same dad.
Shiro.
The black giant turns to us.
I think you're telling
Run.
me to run.
He's coming. I can think later. For now, I have to get away from him as fast as possible. It's a bit strange. I'm pulling Ilya and running at a speed far beyond Emiya Shiro's capabilities. I come out into a familiar clearing. Oh, is that the crater from Excalibur? Ilya's the one breathing hard. Oh. Well, all right. How was I supposed to know? I'm not out of breath. Maybe because my body's numb. Oh, we can go back if you want to.
Yeah, there was such a long pause that I thought that meant that I needed to go.
I was checking to see if you wanted to do that. And so I gave you an opportunity, and then it seemed like you didn't want to, so I kept going. But then you did want to.
It's so hard to pitch up with my nose as stuffed as it is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we like a. Bro, I'm having way too much fun today for how bad I feel.
Yeah, it's a good day. Ilia's the one breathing hard. I'm not out of breath, maybe because my body's numb. My lungs are burning from lack of air, but I'm not breathing. I'm just like a corpse. My heart's gone on strike.
Oh, I'm fine. I can run.
Ilia's fingers are unnaturally hot. She's never had the energy necessary to run. Her design didn't account for ordinary human exercise. I have a headache. Knowledge I never knew flows into my mind. Thoughts are useless. I have to get away for now. The mad, senseless giant is close on our heels. I somehow widen the gap between us, but I can't hope for that speed again. My legs are shaking, and I calmly analyze that I can only run for about 10 more meters. Ilia can't keep this up either. There's nothing here for us to hide behind, even if we wanted to. Well, hiding wouldn't accomplish much since he can't see anything. Perfect. But we're fortunate. There's a crater. It's a scar in the earth made by Saber's noble phantasm. This way, Ilia. I take Ilia's hand and jump into the crater. I remember the CG really, directly. The trench easily holds 2 people. I lean against the dirt.
Figured you wouldn't be out of breath this time.
Raising my head for air, I see the sky. A small cutout patch of sky, as if I'm looking up from underground. I just focus on breathing. For a bit, I relax and rest my body. But it's only for an instant. The giant will not lose its prey. No matter where we run, he'll track us down and kill us. The suppressed voice is from the girl beside me. Haley is frantically hugging herself so she won't be a burden on me. This is the end. We can't run away and we can't take much more of this. I look down at my left arm. The sole weapon to overcome this situation is waiting for its release. I'll die. Kotomine said that this is the switch of a time bomb.
Uh-oh.
I recall the pain. Using projection nearly broke me. I can't imagine what the pain would be like if I released my arm. The firing hammer is always in my head. Untying the red cloth is the same as putting a gun in my mouth and pulling the trigger. Once I remove the cloth, the firing hammer will go down. My brain will splatter out the back of my head and everything will end there. I have to be determined. The answer's already there. I need to bring Ilia back and save Sakura. I know what that means. I have to protect Ilia, defeat the shadow, and remove it from Sakura. I wished for a miracle that I can't hope to accomplish. I'm still wishing with all my might. I know it's a dream that I can't make come true, but I've never even thought about giving up. Then I have to go. I have to save Sakura and Ilya. It's impossible. Sakura's facing death and only destruction awaits her. Someone said it'll take a miracle to save her. That's right. Aid that's impossible with human powers. If I'm to perform a miracle that exceeds human capabilities, I'll need an appropriate compensation. I can't protect myself and someone else. If someone has to take Sakura's place in order to save her... The ground's trembling. The embodiment of the storm is closing in. I'm going to defeat him, Ilya.
Eh?
She looks up in surprise. Ilya notices that my right hand is on my left arm.
No, you can't do that. You won't come back once you use Archer's arm. You'll die. You'll be killed first. You haven't done anything wrong, so you don't have to go that far.
I'll bear it. I'll somehow bear it, even if I almost die, so you don't have to worry about me. Oh, and let me correct you. I've done bad things too.
Shiro?
Then I'm going. Wait here, Ilya. I pat her head and walk away.
God, you're such a cool guy.
I get away from Ilya. I'm going to attract his attention and fight him head on. I have to get away from Ilya so she doesn't get involved in the fight. It's time. I place my hand on the knot by my shoulder. The knot by my wrist is tight, so I'm going to take the cloth off. It'll have to be from up here. I just need to pull it all off after that. Then I'll be assailed by pain that's 10 times worse than all I've suffered until now. Hodamine said it's the switch of a time bomb. The fuse will be lit once I take it off. I don't know if it'll explode in the next minute or the next day. All I know is that I can't put out the fire once it's lit. My mouth goes dry. Fear doesn't go away with determination. I want to scream out of sheer dread. If I'll be sane or not. I'm scared of myself. My death is only natural. I'll be killed even if I stay here. If I'm going to die either way, I'll choose the method that'll keep me alive longer. So there's only one thing I'm scared of. And that is the possibility of losing my mind before my body dies. Will I be able to bear the pain? I might lose my sanity and forget about Ilya and Sakura. I might even forget the promise to protect them. That's what I'm scared of. That's the only thing I'm scared of. That's why I sealed it. I know I can't use this arm even if my life's at stake. Berserker's appearance isn't somebody else's business. I'll be like him if I give in to the pain and lose my mind. No, the fear will always be with me so long as this arm exists. This arm is the embodiment of a nightmare that seeks to kill me. But why did I keep this arm in spite of that? Then cut it off. There's only one reason. This arm exists to be used, and he entrusted me with it because it will be needed. He said I'll be judged by myself. Ilya said I haven't done anything bad. Yeah, that's good enough. The atonement lies here. I betrayed myself and sacrificed many lives. There's something I can't give up, and that's why I continue to live. I put my hand on the red penalty. Live or die. I take a deep breath and rip the cloth. At that instant, the world crumbles apart.
Holy shit.
Blowing despair. Rand voice getting ready. A strong wind that's going faster than 100 meters per second. A fierce wind that doesn't allow the existence of living things, let alone allow one to stand up. Therefore, it's not a wind. It's steel, and my body's crushed by the pressure. Yeah. My eyeballs are squashed. My back sinks into the wall. I can't lift my hand or fingers. My blood flows backward. My mind is bleached white. There's no pain. Feeling pain and enduring it are too human-like to happen here. I'm melting. I can't even groan in protest. There's nothing. I have no way to fight it off. I have to move forward, but I can't move a finger. I'm melting into whiteness. My body and mind impassively crumble apart. Go forward. Why am I here? Keep going forward. For what am I here? Go to the other side. Why am I fighting? Pass through the wind and move forward. I'm disappearing. My body lost already, but I clench my teeth, not letting my mind lose. But my mind is disappearing. I won't make it. I can't move no matter how hard I try. I can't stay no matter how determined I am. I try to clench my right fist with my whole existence on the line. If I can, I'll be able to hang in there. If I can move any part of my body, I can use that to move forward. I can't move a finger, let alone make a fist. My left eyeball's crushed. The rush of the wind ruptures my eardrums. My vision fades away. Within it, I see an unbelievable image. He's standing. He's standing in this wind. He's standing, walking to the other side. As if it's a matter of course. The wind of steel has no effect on him. He walks forward, his red coat billowing behind him. Strength is back in my jaws. I grip my teeth. My right hand is already in a fist. The Red Knight takes no notice of me. Set in a stern expression, his face is slightly turned away, showing no interest in me as the wind rushes. For him, this result was expected. Emiya Shiro cannot stand against this wind. He knew there's no future for the man who betrayed himself and wished for something out of his reach. He's right. The crimes I've accumulated will judge me. But he... Can you keep up with me? As if to scorn me, as if to believe in me. He's waiting for me to get there. It's not, can you keep up with me? My vision fires up. I force as much heat as I can into my body. My limbs cut through the wind like giant swords. You keep up with me. I pass the red figure with all my might. I step up onto the ground. The wind's died down. There's about 30 meters to the black giant. It'll take him less than 3 seconds to close this distance. Therefore, the outcome of this battle will be decided in the next 3 seconds. My mind's clear. I know the scope of my power. Projection using creation concept, basic structure, composition, production technique, growth experience, and accumulated years. A reality marble that inverts the world engraved on your soul. The embodiment of the mental world using theory of magic, the world egg. Inheritance of battle technique, experience and physical strength from Archer. Correction. Failed to read physical strength. I'll still be killed in one blow. Reality marble. Unlimited blade works isn't usable. Archer's world and mine are different. I can't reproduce it. I can only reproduce what Shiro has learned, or the noble phantasms he has recorded. If I'm to use a noble phantasm from my left arm, I have to search within Unlimited Blade Works for the noble phantasm best suited for the situation and reproduce it. But be warned. Projection is a two-edged sword. If you use it once, it will... I hold my breath and put all my magical energy into my left arm. I only need to understand the weapons I can use. I already know the precautions. I have to move forward. I have to go beyond that wind and defeat myself. Trace, on. I stare at it. I see through his giant sword. I open my left hand and grasp the imaginary handle of the weapon that has yet to exist. An extraordinary weight. Shiro cannot handle this giant sword. But my left arm will definitely reproduce the strength of my enemy.
Jesus.
Oh, that's so cool. It breaks. A part of my brain explodes. My bones break, not being able to withstand the overflowing magical energy. It's unsightly like apple skin. Here I come. There's no need to worry. The arm will reinforce the broken parts. I will give my undivided attention to killing him for certain. He notices me. His hostility now is a focus. Recognizing my use of magic as a threat, his eyes move. They're like ominous stars. The giant gives a death cry and runs to kill his enemy. Mad warrior. The giant is insane, but still the same. He's still fighting his battle against Saber. He is blind and insane. His life has ended twice over, and his body is rotting, but he's still fighting to protect Ilya. 1 second. The running giant won't stop with one blow, and normal projection is useless against him. Tracing won't do the trick. I can't beat that giant unless I use projection past my limits. Therefore, trigger off. 9 in my head. I use all 27 magic circuits in my head and smash it in one blow. 2 seconds. He's right before me. His massive sword is upraised. Torrent and swirling vigor. He steps forward and I confront him by also stepping forward. Upper arm, collarbone, windpipe, temple, diaphragm, rib, testicles, and thigh. I take aim at the 8 targets. Set. 9 lives, blade works. I surpass the crashing speed of sound using Godspeed. He doesn't fall. His entire body's been torn through by his own weapon, but Berserker's still alive. I step forward. His weapon is in my left hand. I'm faster. I can land a finishing blow before Berserker, who's missing an eighth of his body. I raise the giant sword up to his chest and thrust it like a lance. But I lost. I put all I had into it. I used every ounce of the unfair advantage I have, but it still wasn't enough. Berserker's attack draws near. It swung down with hurricane force. I twist my body. I use all my abilities to evade his attack. I saw it coming, so I can dodge it. Berserker's attack will only graze my head. That will still kill me instantly. Even a grazing blow from that monstrous blade will be the end. A direct hit can even destroy the ground. Even a brush with the tip of his sword will scatter my head like tofu.
Gross.
The giant sword comes crashing down. My vision freezes the instant my head is blown away. But the sword swung with blinding speed is stopped with blinding speed. Huh? The death blow never comes. The black giant is looking forward. Not at me, who's under him. He's staring at the white girl who emerged from her cover. I pierce him. Without hesitation or mercy, I drive the giant sword into his heart. There's no counterattack. Berserker exhausts the last of his life force and crumbles to dust, for good this time. And at that moment, as his red eyes fade away, they remain focused on the girl, telling me to protect her. There's a second there, it really sounded like he fucking swatted Ilya.
Yeah, I thought so too. Hold on, I have to pee.
The battle ends in an instant. It really does end in one breath. The boy with trembling lips said he was going. He suppressed his fatigue and fear, put his hand on the red restraint, and walked away from the girl. She went out to stop him. She hesitated for a second, wondering what she could say. She couldn't come up with anything, yet still followed after him. It wasn't even 10 seconds. But that slight hesitation determined the outcome.
Sure.
She emerges, following the boy. The battle's already ended. The giant who once protected her disappeared, his eyes fixed on her. Wind blows through the clearing as if signaling the conflict has ended.
Oh, he's so fucking
it's his
cool.
back now. Oh,
Look at his one buff arm.
that's your thumbnail. The figure is all that's left in her vision.
We've had too many good CGs this go. It's gonna
That's
be so
true,
hard
too.
to pick one.
The battle has ended. It's not the power of the heroic spirit's arm. Using his own power, the boy fought against his death and won. The girl keeps staring at his back. He will never turn around and look back again. He has released the shroud and defeated the giant. His figure looks heroic. There's no doubt left in him now. He cast away all agonies when he released the cloth and used projection.
Shiro.
The girl keeps watching him, filled with sorrow. His body looks like someone else's now. It's a foolish and sacred end with no return. I resume breathing. My left arm burns and I ache all over. Snakes with electricity are in my body, wriggling around like mad. I can't stay standing. Quickly. I have to quickly cover my left arm with the cloth and escape this pain, or the time limit will come. But I can't do that. Suppressing my left arm and resting comes after defeating her.
Oh, she just showed up?
I'm sure she was sent out at the same time Berserker was, right?
She's just been running behind this whole time?
Saber. I endure my pain and stare at her so I won't lose spirit. Maybe she's been following Berserker all along. She slowly comes closer to me as if resuming the giant's task. 7 meters. Saber stops once I'm within range. We face each other straight on. I'll be killed. After my fight with Berserker, I can't move anymore. I'll be cut in two without being able to fight back. No. Even if I were in perfect shape, I wouldn't be able to beat Saber. I can't project anything stronger than her noble phantasm. So there's no competition. To beat Saber, I need an appropriate user to use his noble phantasm that equals her noble phantasm. There's a contradiction already. Saber's noble phantasm is the strongest. There may be heroic spirits whose noble phantasms exceed hers, but there are no such people in this Holy Grail war. If anything can beat Saber, it'll be her own sword. Therefore, a contradiction. Saber's the strongest servant in battle. Sakura did have an extraordinary amount of magical energy. But even Sakura wouldn't be able to defeat Saber. Saber is literally invincible now that she's released from me and has a great source of magical energy.
What a futile effort. I warned you that you cannot save Sakura, and this is the result?
There's no emotion in her voice. That's the signal. She mercilessly comes to take my life. So what? I can't be killed here. I can't lose, even against Saber. I may not be able to beat her, but I should be able to escape with Ilya.
But you are fortunate. I have no time to spare for someone who will die soon. In any case, Sakura is calling for me.
Huh? Saber turns around and walks off.
God. No, it is not merely luck. You earned your life with your own hands. You defeated Berserker. Your determination yielded this result.
Saber leaves without turning around. I can't call out to her. She's my enemy. No matter the reason, I'll thankfully accept the fact that she spared my life. I'm covered in wounds, leaving me nothing to spare. I stifle my pain and turn my back to Saber. I have to leave the forest with Ilya. Saber's not my only enemy. Even if I do separate Sakura from the shadow, Zoken will get in our way. Ugh. I know what happened and what's going to happen to my body. I can project 3 more times at most. No, even projecting once is dangerous if I don't want any physical defects. I can't fight Zokin and Assassin in this condition. There'll be no point if my body explodes after I beat them. Then I should keep my last projection to keep my promise with Tosaka. Then there's still hope even after I die.
Shiro?
I hear Ilya's voice from somewhere. Yeah, let's get out of this forest as quickly as we can. We won't be able to get away if if Sakura changes her mind. I can't see Ilya. My heart's thumping loudly, jumping around inside my skull. Purification by the holy word. The priest's exorcism disperses Matozokin's spiritual body. Only 2 figures remain. One is Kotomine Kirei, leaning against a wall with wounds all over his body, his cloak red with blood. The other is the masked assassin, bound to a tree by the black keys. You completely eradicated the mage's executor. Did you know he was just a collection of worms? He turns to the voice. Assassin is no longer there. The only things on the tree are the black keys and a small trace of blood.
I've known him for a long time. I knew he was a spirit that used worms to tamper with this world. It would do no good to rip his body to pieces. If one were to kill him, one would have to completely eliminate his body, or...
Attack the spirit itself, as you did, huh? I see. The mage has had a strong binding to the world, but he's vulnerable to the holy words of the Bible. Exorcist, huh? One might say you were Matozokin's natural enemy. The priest doesn't answer, but checks on his wounded body. The bleeding has stopped. He's out of weapons, but he suffered no fatal wounds, and his strength should return once he rests for a few minutes.
So what are you going to do, Assassin? Your master is gone. My holy words should have an effect on you now that your source of magical energy is gone.
Assume so. My body will soon disappear. Without a master, I am no different from the wandering spirits in this forest. My body will degrade to that of a lowly spirit within a day, and I shall disappear from this world.
Correct. I can harm servants without masters. So what will you do? Will you avenge your master?
I'm not so foolish as that. He suffered defeat because of his own arrogance. It is not my fault. But still, something does not make sense, and that I must ask of you.
You must mean how your Zabania failed. I believe you obtained your arm from Shatan, but it will have no effect on me as long as it bears the name of the fallen angel. That arm punishes humans, so it cannot curse one of its own kind. As my heart is not human, it is strong against such a curse.
I thought so. Your heart was the same as that girl's. You must already be tainted. The priest doesn't answer. He merely smiles ironically. But how did you know? You could not act as you did unless you knew my arm would have no effect on you. Your intention was to have me use my noble phantasm, correct?
Yes, I already knew about your arm, Assassin. A cursed arm that creates an image of the target's heart and swaps it with the real heart. That's how you killed my servant.
And you?
Yes, I watched it until he died. It's natural that I knew about your arm. Your blunder was made the instant you killed Lancer.
Yeah, that was indeed a blunder. Assassin tut-tuts in self-deprecation. His hostility disappears at the same time. He must be satisfied with the answers. He quickly retreats.
So we went to look for another master. I'd assume his next master would be Mato Sakura.
That's not a problem for the priest. It's fine as long as Mato Zoken doesn't kill Mato Sakura. Zoken's wish is immortality. He can achieve his wish by having Sakura's body turn into the Holy Grail. The curse in the Holy Grail will not hatch if the old man is alive. It's meaningless if Sakura becomes his tool. She needs to remain a master. Because you will never find it. You were defective from birth. Oh, that was Zoken. Well, he gets dizzy. It must be because of the fatigue and loss of blood. The priest leans against the wall and closes his eyes. It all happened 10 years ago. Defective from birth. The man did everything he could after accepting the fact. He couldn't understand morals, but had common sense, so his teenage years were spent trying to overcome his defect. But it never happened. The man's purgatories and sufferings were entirely useless, and his final attempt was a woman. It's a simple story. Every human wishes to love one of the opposite sex, have a family, and die peacefully. Even if one may detest the peace, one can only dream about it. This man is no exception. He wished for such a thing, even though he felt no fascination in it. He loved a woman trying to earn ordinary happiness. The man chose a woman with no future. She was terminally ill, only expected to live for a few years. Did he choose her because of that, or was that his only choice? He still doesn't know. Their life together lasted for about 2 years. The man tried to love the woman. The woman tried to love the man, did love him, and even had his child. But the result didn't change. It was because the man derived his happiness from the woman's suffering and his child's despair. The more he tried to love, the more their suffering saved him. The contradiction didn't make the man suffer. He doesn't even know if he suffered. But the more the woman tried to cure him, the more he wanted to see her grieve. The woman was a saint. She was sickly, but she was still a saint for him. It need not be said how faithful she was or how deeply she understood his anger. That's why the man was in despair. No human will ever understand him and try to heal him to her degree, and this woman still could not fill the void within him. Then there was no need to live and question right and wrong. He was born defective. His birth was some kind of mistake. He concluded that if his existence was a mistake, it was best to disappear, and he went to bid goodbye to the woman before he died. He made her his wife as an experiment, so it's his natural duty to go tell her of his end. The woman loved Kotomine. Kotomine tried to love the woman. That's all there is to this story. The end came relatively quickly.
I could not love you.
That's all the man said in a room made of stone. The dying woman smiled. She was unable to stand up because her body was now composed of just skin and bone. No, you do love me. With a smile, she took her own life. There was no way to stop her, and stopping her was meaningless. The woman had a fatal disease. She would eventually die. He knew that when he chose her. The woman, covered in blood, looked up at the man and smiled. See? You're crying. He wasn't crying, of course. It's just that the woman saw it that way. The woman used her death to prove to him that he could love, and that he deserved to live. The man silently left the room and broke away from the teachings of God. Yes. He certainly felt sad. But not because she died. The man at that time thought, how terrible. If she was going to die, I wanted to kill her myself. He grieved over losing the chance to enjoy her death.
What the fuck?
It happened long ago. He can't remember her voice or her face. But sometimes he thinks, I wanted to kill her. Is that for his pleasure, or is it grief over wanting to kill the one he loved with his own hands? He cuts off his thought process whenever the answer flickers in his head. It's something that should be hidden forever. The woman's death was meaningless. Her devotion couldn't change him. But the man didn't want to consider her death to be worthless. So he stopped searching for answers. It all happened long ago. The memory of the man who feeds on others' misfortunes. The man later meets his nemesis, Emiya Kiritsugu, a magus that cast away what the man might have wanted. He opens his eyes. It seems he fell asleep. He checks his condition, starts to walk to catch up to Emiya Shiro, and
Oh, fuck, this could be anyone.
who knows who this is? Saber, maybe? I don't know.
That's a good guess. No, you can't go anywhere. Because you die here.
He's interrupted by a girl. Oh, it could be Sakura, too.
Oh, sick!
Oh, she's finally in the BB outfit. She's completely changed. Her black outfit is her shadow. She's covering her body with her own dark magical energy. The amount and the presence of her magical energy is beyond human capabilities. She's at the same level as pure heroic spirits, the Counter Guardians.
You are completely tainted, Mato Sakura. You cannot change to that degree unless your mind is attuned to the curse. So you've accepted the fact that you're a human-eating monster.
Even though the priest wished for it, he still criticizes the girl. As if to blame her for being intoxicated with her power.
Ha! But it is wrong to be drunk with your power. It can't be helped. I think I would have endured it longer if everyone was nicer to me.
Oh? Endure what?
Myself, priest-san. I finally understand now. I hate this world. The Tosca family that threw me away, Ne-san who lived without any troubles, my scary grandfather and my pitiful brother, the people living peacefully without knowing about my pain. I can't allow such things. Now, I know I'm just taking my anger out on others. I know it's wrong, but I still think this way. Yes, I wonder what kind of face the people who haven't helped me will make when they realize I exist.
The girl smiles as if it's a sacred pleasure. The priest doesn't change his expression. He keeps staring at the girl as if regarding something foul.
You have changed, Mato Sakura. I see. Your darkness was one of the qualities to adapt.
Yes, I've changed. I'm not the old Mato Sakura. That weak girl doesn't exist anymore. Yes, everyone tormented me until now, so I'm just getting back at them. The me who sat there and endured is gone.
She laughs. Double personality. The original Mato Sakura disappeared and the other personality surfaced. That's the only logical reason for her change. But
What are you talking about? You don't need to hide it, Mato Sakura.
the priest quickly denies it.
Huh? What do you mean?
I said there's no need to hide it. You are not another personality. You are swallowed by the mud and have become addicted to violence. But you are still Mato Sakura. You do not need to prepare another personality to excuse yourself.
Her face stiffens. He's absolutely right. The girl grits her teeth and glares back at the priest.
What are you saying? You're the one who made me like this.
The girl's shadow reacts to her hateful voice. A blazing infringement. The shadow covers the ground in an instant.
I won't deny it. I kept you alive so you would remain its master. You measured up to my expectations, and you are about to give birth to Avenger. You have easily accomplished what I could not. It wasn't easy at all. You don't know how painful it was. How much pain I'm going through right now. I don't know, and there's no need to know. I'm not so mad as to listen to a girl's complaint. I see. You're right. I don't want you to know. I won't let you feel compassion. I'm in a position where I can make anyone realize whatever I want.
She smiles cruelly. The priest retreats without any hesitation. He quickly backs away like when he captured Mitozoken. The priest retreats with one jump. She may have vast magical energy, but she's still inexperienced. She has no experience with battle, and she's unskilled as a magus. It's easy for him to retreat.
How foolish. Do you think you can get away from me?
She smiles. The priest falls to the ground at that instant. He rolls down. He falls to the ground, coughing up blood. It doesn't stop. He can't stop coughing up blood. Every time he tries to breathe, it wells up in his throat.
How does it feel to have someone grab a hold of your heart? Your life's under my control no matter where you are. You died 10 years ago. Emiya Kiritsugu shot your heart and you died, but you stayed alive because of one reason. You're that... Who was it? It's that servant I ate before, but I guess his name doesn't matter. That gold person was showered with the contents of the Holy Grail, which connected him to it, but it couldn't taint that man, so it flowed into you, his master, right? Then you were resurrected. Avenger, your life was saved because Angramayu supplied you with magical energy. I see. Then this is... Jesus Christ. Yes. You're connected to Angramayu. Say that name again?
Angramayu, you've got it.
Okay. I can, like, barely hear myself. I love having a stuffed nose. Yes, you're connected to Angramayu, but I'm Angramayu. So I squashed it. I destroyed the fake heart that kept you alive. I can squash your organs too if you want. I can pull out your insides no matter where you are.
She raises her hand. How could she say, if you want? The girl has no intention of keeping him alive. No matter how much he may beg for his life, she'll laugh as she kills him. He'll give her back his fake life. Because it's hers. Even if it's just a speck next to her total magical energy, there's no reason for her to let the priest keep it.
Goodbye. I appreciate the fact that you saved me.
She grasps her slender fingers together as if to twist apart an invisible doll. A crushing sound. The priest's body is squeezed like a rag. One more twist. The priest will die in the next second. But right before that...
That has to be you running up, right?
Maybe?
Oh, no. Okay.
Okay. The girl doubles over in pain. She coughs up blood. She scratches the ground as if begging for help.
It hurts. No, don't. Come in.
The shadow expands. What happened? The shadow in her body expands and slowly shrinks back to the original size.
No way. Berserker lost.
There's no other explanation. Berserker was defeated. He died, dissolved into pure magical energy, and was consumed by her, the Holy Grail. Her mind distorts. The personality called Mato Sakura is pushed even further into a corner now. She can't move any farther, but the great soul pushes her against the wall. She'll disappear. She'll disappear. Mato Sakura will disappear.
Before that...
She thinks of killing the priest, looks up, and is annoyed by her failure to follow through.
Fine. He's going to die anyway.
There's no one at the ruin. On the ground where Kotomina Kirei lay is his blood-soaked outfit. Is he naked?
He didn't lose his clothes.